Hi, how you doing? Justin here. Welcome to Jazz Rhythm Guitar Basics. Now, I'm just going to be showing you two kind of rhythm guitar things that you want to be checking out if you're getting into jazz for the first time, playing your first standards. There's two kind of grooves that I think are really, really good to learn. And the first one's really easy. It's just called playing fours. Now, very often, particularly in kind of gypsy sort of jazz, they'd be strumming it with a pick. But I would recommend for now, if you're getting into it to start off with, that you're using your thumb on the bass note of the chord and the three fingers probably on strings 2, 3 and 4. Okay, later on you might find yourself moving those three fingers over onto the thinnest three strings, but for now I'd recommend that you positioning them on strings 2, 3 and 4. Now if we start off with just a regular G major 7th, which I'm hoping that you kind of copped in that last lesson, what you want to practice doing is just getting a nice groove on playing on the beat in 4/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what's really important to get here is that I'm pressing and relaxing the chord a little bit. If I just hold the chord down and play the chords, they all kind of run into each other, which is okay. You can do a little bit of muting with this hand by putting your fingers back onto the strings, but it never seems to kind of sound quite right. What you want to get used to is pressing the chord and then it's relaxing. And you can really control it that way. It's good for the practice of getting your chord grip nice. So if you're just practicing 1, 2, 3, 4, any of the chords that we've just been doing, doesn't really matter. Any of those essential 10 jazz chords. And just see if you can practice playing 4 or 8 on each one. If you've got a jazz standard that you're getting into, maybe apply this jazz rhythm to that and just get used to playing fours, okay? Just get used to what the feeling of it is like. Try and keep it nice and even. Trying to feel a little bit of a groove on, which is very difficult while you're thinking about teaching, but hopefully you get the idea. And getting used to relaxing that chord hand in between the different picks, okay? Practice it with the 6th string root and with the 5th string root, of course. Okay, again, applying it to a jazz standard would be a really, really good idea and probably the best way to do it. So that would be called playing fours. Now, another kind of thing that I started out when I was playing jazz for the first time, I was playing with a lot more experienced people than myself and kind of sitting on the edge of the piano stool and fumbling my way through the tunes. I found playing fours a little bit difficult, especially on getting the chord changes in time. So I started playing this other rhythm, which I was kind of copying the piano player that I was working with at the time, who was doing more of this sort of thing. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3, 4. And because you're putting your hand down on beats 2 and 4 as well, it gets you used to that idea of the click, the feeling of jazz being on beats 2 and 4, which is something we're going to talk about a little later. So if you just start off with a G major 7th chord and you play 1, and then when you put your hand in, just let it have a little click. I'm not after a big kind of percussive hit, just 1. As you mute it, it'll kind of make a little note. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 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 Okay, you could just be doing it on 1 and 3, but it sounds a lot cooler to have this 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, mute and 3, mute. 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 Gives you just a little bit of time between chords to think about what's going on. If you're struggling a bit, you've got time to panic and go, oh, what's the next chord? Oh, there it is. Oh, what's the next one? Oh, there we go. As well, if you're playing by yourself, it gives you that nice little feeling, you know, kind of a bit of a rhythm groove. You don't have to be doing that hit, and if you're playing with a whole band, that might get annoying. But remember, because in the last little rhythmic thing I talked about relaxing the hand, you could have. You don't have to have the big hit. You can be using that hand to lift up the chord. You don't have to be doing a big muted hit there, but it does make it kind of sits nice, you know. I would definitely recommend that you practice this up on one chord before you start trying to apply it to a jazz standard. That's a kind of a big deal. So get a metronome on. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And just sit there and practice. See if you can really get it kind of feeling nice, you know. With all of these things, the first half is getting it right and getting it kind of, if you like, getting the maths right, getting the mechanics good and getting it so it's technically the right thing. But then the next stage is trying to make it feel good and make it feel so you can kind of, you feel it in your body and you feel it in the groove. And that's kind of the big deal part, right? So practicing doing that on just one chord is a really good idea. Take away all of that clutter in your mind about trying to find these chords and trying to, you know, do fancy stuff where you just hold one chord down, an A minor 7 or a G major 7, whatever chord you feel like, and then just practice doing that and trying to get it really locked into a groove. That's a, you know, that's definitely your essential work that you should be doing now. And in the next lesson, I'm going to explain about putting the metronome on beats 2 and 4 only. It's a really good little trick there for helping you lock into the kind of the jazz feel. But I'll see you for that very soon. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. See you for plenty more very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.